The crack of my hip on the kitchen tile was a sound I felt in my soul. I'm 84. I lay there on the cold floor, helpless, waiting for the ambulance. And I made a promise to myself. I would never feel that breakable again. But the real plan, the one that worked, didn't come from a doctor. It came from a promise I broke decades ago. Let me tell you what happened. It started with my grandson, Leo. He started visiting after my fall. He's an architect, but his anxiety was so bad he barely left his apartment. We were a pair, him and me. My fear of falling, and his fear of living. I looked at him and knew we both needed to rebuild. So I dug out an old recipe journal from my wife Eleanor's grandmother. I called Leo. I said we were going to eat 5 foods. He thought I was crazy. The first was lentils. We stood in my kitchen, staring into this pot of brown mush. "This is the plan, Gramps?" Leo asked. It tasted like dirt, but I ate it for solidarity. A week later, I noticed something. The morning stiffness in my knees was less, just a little. I called Leo. My voice cracked when I told him. That little win made us brave enough to try the second food, plain Greek yogurt. I mixed some with honey for Leo one day. He was having a panic attack, just sitting at my table, shaking. I told him about a trip Eleanor and I took to Crete. We saw shepherds eat this for strength. We ate in silence. The cool, tart taste was steadying for both of us. But progress isn't a straight line. Leo missed our next meeting. He was locked in his apartment, a wreck over a failed project. I sat outside his door with a container of yogurt. I felt all my own despair come back. My legs ached like they used to. It felt like we'd lost. The next day, I made myself go to the store. The third food was wild-caught salmon. I stood at the fish counter, arguing with myself about the price. It was so expensive. Then I remembered arguing with Eleanor years ago about buying a better mattress. She said, "What's your health worth, Arthur?" I bought the salmon. I baked it with lemon and took it to Leo's. The smell made him open the door. We ate it with our fingers. It felt like a real turn. We were in this together. Food 4 was walnuts. My father was a carpenter. He always had walnuts in his toolbox. He said they were food for the mind and the mortar. Leo and I sat on my porch, cracking them by hand. Pop, crack. I told him stories about his great-grandfather building this house. We were connecting to something solid. But then my daughter Sarah visited. She's a pharmacist. She saw all the food and got worried. "Dad, this is a placebo effect," she said. "You need your real medicine." Her doubt felt like a cold rain. Leo spoke up for me. His voice was strong. "It's working," he said. I almost listened to her that night. I almost didn't eat. But I did. The last food was blueberries. I took Leo to a farm to pick them. The sun was hot. It reminded me of picking berries with Eleanor. Her laugh. I got sad right there in the field. I told Leo I should have made her eat more of these. At the end, her legs. I should have remembered. Leo put a handful in my basket. He said, "We're doing it now, Gramps." We baked a pie. It was sweet. The real test came months later. A storm knocked out my power. The house was pitch black. I needed a flashlight from the hall closet. I had to walk through the dark, my hand on the wall, and my legs. They were steady. My balance held. I didn't falter. The next day, Leo called. He presented a big project to his firm. He said, "My voice didn't shake, Gramps. We didn't just get by. We got stronger." So here's the truth. I'm 84. I eat lentils, yogurt, salmon, walnuts, and blueberries. They keep my legs strong. But the strength came from that old promise to Eleanor and from Leo. It's not a magic list. It's a story. Your story will be different. Find your reason. Start with one bite, one step, one person. Your kitchen is your workshop. Now, go build. And you know what? That little win made us brave enough to try the second food, plain Greek yogurt. I had some in my fridge, the plain kind. Leo came over one Tuesday, and I could see it in his eyes before he even took his coat off. He was having one of his bad days. He sat at my kitchen table, and his hands were shaking. He was trying to hide it. I didn't say anything. I just got out 2 bowls and scooped the thick yogurt into them. I stirred in a little local honey, the kind from the farmer's market. I put his bowl in front of him. "Just try it," I said. I told him about a trip Eleanor and I took to Crete back in '85. We saw these shepherds on a hillside eating this exact thing from little clay pots. They were tough as old roots. We ate in silence. The cool, tart taste was steadying for both of us. I felt his breathing slow down, match mine. It was more than food. It was an anchor. But progress isn't a straight line. Life doesn't work like that. Leo missed our next meeting. He didn't call. I knew. I went to his apartment with a container of that yogurt. I knocked. Nothing. I sat down right there on the hallway floor, my back against his door. The container got warm in my hands, and I felt it all come back, that cold fear from my kitchen floor. My legs started to ache with the old familiar pain, a deep thrum of doubt. It felt like we'd lost all our ground. The hallway linoleum felt just as hard and hopeless as my tile. The next morning, I made myself go to the store. My legs hurt with every step, a mean reminder. I went for the third food, wild-caught salmon. I stood at the fish counter and stared at the price. It was so expensive. My frugal heart, the one my Depression-era parents gave me, was having a fit. Then I remembered a fight I had with Eleanor. Must have been 1992. Our mattress was sagging. She wanted to buy a good new one. I was fussing about the cost. She put her hands on her hips and said, "Arthur, what is your health worth? What's it actually worth?" I bought the salmon. I baked it with lemon and dill, and the smell filled my whole kitchen. I took it to Leo's. I knocked. He opened the door, just a crack. That smell, that rich, oily, good smell, drew him out. We ate it right there, with our fingers, no plates. It felt like a real turn. We were in this together, for real. Food 4 was walnuts. My father was a carpenter. He always had a bag of walnuts in his toolbox. "Food for the mind and the mortar," he'd say. Leo and I sat on my porch with a big bowl between us. We cracked them by hand. Pop, crack. The rhythm of it was calm. It settled his nerves. I told him stories about his great-grandfather, my dad, building this very house. the strength in those gnarled hands. We were connecting to something solid, something that lasted. But then my daughter Sarah visited. She's a pharmacist. She saw the salmon skins in my trash, the bowl of walnuts on the counter. "Dad," she said, her voice full of that practical worry I taught her, "this is a placebo effect. You can't ignore your actual medications." Her doubt felt like a cold rain on everything we'd planted. I felt small. But then Leo spoke up. His voice was clear, stronger than I'd ever heard it. "It's working, Aunt Sarah." Just like that. That night after she left, I almost listened to her. I almost didn't eat my salmon. Her words echoed. But I took the forkful. I ate it. But Sarah's words stuck in my head like a burr. A placebo effect. Was I just fooling myself? Was Leo? That doubt got its hooks in deep. The next week, I woke up and my hip was throbbing, a dull, familiar ache. I looked at the blueberries in my fridge and I thought, what's the point? This is stupid. An old man's fantasy. I almost called Leo to cancel, but I didn't. He showed up, and he looked worse than I felt. Pale. He'd had a bad week, too. We made the pie like we'd planned. We rolled out the crust in silence. It felt heavy, forced. When it was baking, we sat at the table waiting. Leo finally said, "What if she's right, Gramps?" He said it so quiet. What if this is all just a story we're telling? I didn't have an answer. The smell of the baking pie filled the kitchen, that sweet blueberry smell that should have been a comfort. It just made me sad. It made me think of Eleanor, and that was the breaking point. I looked at Leo and I said it, the thing I'd never said out loud. "I forgot her, Leo." My voice cracked. "I forgot my promise to her. Althea said to build bones in the kitchen, and I promised Eleanor I'd remember. And then life happened. The kids, my job, the mortgage. I just forgot. I got busy, and at the end, when she was fading, when her legs got so weak she couldn't walk to the garden, I didn't make her lentil soup. I didn't make her yogurt or salmon. I brought her pills from the pharmacy. I did exactly what Althea told us not to do. I put my head in my hands. I failed her. That's the cost. I was so busy living, I forgot to build the things that let you live. I cried then, real old man tears, hot and shameful. Leo didn't say anything. He just sat there. Then he got up and took the pie out of the oven. It was bubbling, the crust golden. He let it cool a minute. Then he cut 2 slices, messy and hot. He put a plate in front of me. "Eat it, Gramps," he said. It wasn't gentle. It was an instruction. "You're remembering now. We're doing it now." I took a bite. It was so hot it burned my tongue. The berries burst, tart and sweet. It hurt. It tasted like regret, and like something else, like a second chance I didn't deserve. That's when I realized what I'd done. This wasn't just about my legs or Leo's anxiety. This was my penance, my kitchen confession. Every lentil was an "I'm sorry." Every salmon fillet was a "I should have." I was trying to build for Leo what I'd failed to build for Eleanor. And maybe, in doing that, I was finally building it for myself, too. The guilt didn't go away. It's still there. But that day, with the pie burning my mouth, I understood something. You can't go back. You can only go forward, one meal, one step at a time, carrying what you forgot with you. You can only go forward, one meal, one step at a time, carrying what you forgot with you. Here's what I learned, carrying that guilt and those groceries. I was wrong about what strength was. I thought it was never asking for help. I thought it was powering through, the stiff upper lip, the silent bearing of pain. That's not strength. That's just stubbornness, and it leaves you alone on a cold floor. Real strength is letting your grandson see you cry over a burnt pie. It's admitting you forgot the most important promise you ever made. It's cracking walnuts on a porch and saying, "I'm scared too." That's the mortar. That's what holds you up. Love isn't just the big moments, the weddings, the births. It's not just the "in sickness and in health." That's the vow. But the work is in the daily things. The work is in the lentils. I thought loving Eleanor was about the grand romantic gestures, the anniversaries. But what she needed, what I failed at, was the quiet, consistent building. The soup when she was tired, the blueberries for her bones. I got busy with the abstract idea of providing for my family and forgot the tangible act of nourishing them. Life doesn't ask for your heroic effort every day. It asks for your presence. It asks for you to stir the pot, to set the table, to be there. Don't make my mistake. Don't confuse being busy with being present. Your kitchen isn't just a room, it's your workshop. And what you build there isn't just a meal, it's the physical proof of your care. So my advice, especially if you're my age, is this. Stop performing. Just be there. You don't need a 5-point plan to start. You need one thing. One food that means something to you. Maybe it's the oatmeal your mother made, or the oranges your dad peeled for you. Start there. Make it, and share it. Find your Leo. It doesn't have to be a grandson. It could be a neighbor, a friend from the senior center who's also a little shaky. Someone you can be honest with. Someone you don't have to be strong for. That's the secret. You build your strength by being weak together. You show up with a container of yogurt and sit on the floor outside their door. You answer the phone when your voice is cracking. You let them defend you to your own daughter. That's the protocol. That's the real medicine. And listen to me about time. You still have it. Maybe not decades, maybe not even years, but you have now. And now is enough. Now is the only time you can ever do anything. I can't go back to Eleanor's bedside with a bowl of soup. That chance is gone, and that pain is part of me. But I can sit with Leo now. I can make the soup now. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about using the time you have left to build something that won't collapse in the dark. It's about leaving a story, not just a list of medications in a drawer. The hope isn't that you'll be 20 again. The hope is that you won't be afraid of the next storm. The hope is that your legs will carry you to the flashlight and your voice won't shake when you tell your story. And that's why I'm telling you this. Not because I'm an expert, but because I'm an old man who fell down and found a way back up, hand in hand with a boy who was just as lost. If this story meant anything to you, if it sparked a memory of your own Eleanor or Althea, or made you think of your own Leo, then do something simple. Help this story reach someone else who might need to hear it. Tap that subscribe button. It's free, and it means the next time I figure something out about memory, about grief, about planting tomatoes in pots when you can't bend down anymore, you'll see it. Turn on those notifications, not for me, but for you. So a little reminder to build something good pops up on your screen between the news and the weather. If you felt something, hit like. It's a small thing, but it tells me the work of remembering matters. And down in the comments, I'd love to know, what's your one food? What's the taste or the smell that takes you back to someone you loved, to a strength you forgot you had? Tell me your story. We can build a whole library of remembrances down there. And if you know someone, a parent, a friend, a younger person struggling with their own invisible walls, share this with them. Don't send it as a prescription. Send it as a letter. Say, "This reminded me of you. Let's have lunch."